I think that I like that we didn't have to mortgage the farm and we made a move. And I always say this, I like to negotiate. I will negotiate anything. Okay. Anytime of the
negotiate.
week. And everybody feels like they won and everybody feels like they lost. So to me it was perfect. It's exactly what you needed. Right. And it's like, no one's like, yes. And no one's like, oh man, everyone's like, yes, no, ooh, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm still concerned. And let's be honest, it's because our team has been elite average for so long. And we don't know.
When you dropped that term, clearly my channel loved it. They were like, elite average. They've been running with it. When you said you saw my face lit up, I'm like, yo, it's the perfect way to describe what we are right now. We're spot on with it. But even with the move, we're all kind of feeling like, all right, did we get better? Yeah. Did we get worse?
We don't know.
We kind of the same. It's like, I don't know.
What makes it great. I think that is it.
Well, we are back. Another crossover Tuesday. Arthur Moats, TaNeisha with a really flawed football channel. And shout out to Elite Average. We still in the building.
I love that. It's got the negotiation. We're still in negotiations. It's got the elite average. Like, we're exactly where we're supposed to be.
Come on, man. Hey, look. Right at the beginning of this thing. All right. Right at the beginning of this thing. But here we are. Yeah. Another preseason game in the books. First home preseason opportunity. But obviously, we got to catch up. We got to talk about it. So 17-14 Pittsburgh Steelers take the L. What was your energy? How was your Saturday night?
So I like when we come out and we get scored on and we have to figure it out. So I like that situational football, right? Because I feel like there's like flight or fight. And I like to know who I have. And I want to know, like, if we go down, what are you going to do? Are you going to like cower away? Are you going to say, hey, let's go? Who are the guys that are still firing us up? Like, so I liked that. So I didn't obviously love that we're down 14-0, but I kind of loved that we got to see who we were, because I think we don't get that, and it was nice. I love that. Now, do I think our starters should have played? I was on team starters playing when we recorded last week.
Okay. Yep.
So whatever, it's fine. But I liked that. I will say, watching the game, I caught myself. There's a couple of things I noticed this game that kind of started to worry me, because I remembered that the snapping of the football, the high, low on the ground. Like, I'm getting a little bit concerned about our snapping the football. Like,
okay.
I'm noticing a little bit of even I think on Mason Rudolph's turnover, I think it was a low snap.
Okay,
and he had to kind of do so anyways, so I feel like this game I was really starting to notice a little bit. I'm like, okay, we did that game one. Oh crap, we did that game two. Okay. Do we have a problem? And our quarterback's not in there because he's, a dinosaur at this point. But anyways, I liked the game. I don't care about the wins and losses. Everybody wants to win, but I don't, whatever. But I need to see growth and development, and the snapping is worrying me. The snapping is something I've noticed. I'm also kind of getting concerned about our return game.
Ooh,
both return coverage and who we have to return kickoffs and punts and things.
You're not feeling the young guy. You don't like young Keyshawn.
I don't like it. Our coverage also has been a little spotty.
Yeah.
So that's something else that I'm now I'm starting to notice, the little bitty things where I'm like, that could lose us a game like that. Cause margin of error with the Steelers is very low.
Absolutely.
Very low.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of like, okay, we can't cover on punts. Okay. Can we cover on kick? Okay. Why are we struggling? What's going on our special team? So those are some things that I was okay, we got challenged, all the things, whatever. Turnovers, don't love that. We didn't have any tosses. Amen.
Hey. Steps in the right direction. Direction.
No toss plays. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm feeling. So after the game, I was like, okay, we had to fight back. They only scored 17 points after scoring 14 points. That's pretty good. The snapping is a little awkward. I felt like our defense stepped it up again. What do we have on the field? -2 starters at this point. Cause it's a joke. Again, Mike Tomlin being extremely conservative, which irks my nerves, but that's who I'm a fan of. So you can't date a guy and then he's a conservative. And then when he's conservative, you get upset. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely right.
So that's all my rants for the game. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm just kind of like, okay, we got to figure some things out because I'm worried. Have a couple of worries.
That is perfect. I love it. We don't just start the show. No. If you gonna start the show, TaNeisha,
I'm starting it.
You're going to show. All right. Shout out to you, TaNeisha. Shout out to you. So since you can see we started up, we in there, we fired up. Yeah, y'all hit the like button on both of these channels and subscribe to both of these channels one time for the culture because you got plenty that we got to talk about.
Yes.
And I love what you were bringing up because all of these things do matter. All of these things are impactful, right? Regardless of if we're talking about today or if we're talking about in December, snapping the football, covering kicks, right? All of these little things definitely matter. So this is why I get to have a little bit of fun because I kind of got a little bit of insight, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm hearing you talk. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I understand that. Oh, I hear you over here. Okay, bet. So the special teams part, we'll start there, right? We'll work our way back.
Yes, please help me. By the way, sorry. Welcome to Therapy Tuesday, everyone. Okay.
Get it right. Yeah.
Seeing the Arthur Moats flawed experience crossover episode, but really this is Tuesday therapy. Okay. This Tuesday therapy. This is my therapy where I let all my concerns. And then Moats is like, okay, hold on a second. Let's talk about to therapy on Tuesday. Okay. So anyway,
absolutely. I love therapy on Tuesdays. Like I said, it's always refreshing because there are certain things that, like I said, for me, I just assume like, hey man, I know this, so everybody knows this. But hearing what you were frustrated about, that's legitimate. It's very valid. So like I said, man, to start it off, man, we'll start with the special teams part, right? So coverage units, blocking units, anything that you see special teams related. Danny Smith is not putting any starters that play on special team week 1 that he already knows are starters out there in the preseason. You will never see a person that is what we call varsity. So you will never see a Miles Killebrew out there in the preseason. We know Miles Killebrew is a all-pro special teams player. If Miles Killebrew played in special teams in the preseason, he would block 2-3 punts per game. He would have 2 or 3 tackles. It would be just, pointless, right? Yes, absolutely. Because in the regular season, he doesn't play defense. So for Danny Smith, he says, man, if you're a varsity special teamer, he won't play you. In fact, even in practice, you'll take the first couple of reps, but it's really designed for the younger, inexperienced guys who coming from college who have never had to play special teams, right? You think Shador, or not Shador, you think Shiloh, right?
Shiloh.
Just because the name, right? Name recognition. Shiloh Sanders, right, has been all world at Colorado as a safety, right? And even before that at Jackson State, and then before that where he was at South Carolina, right? Yeah. But how many times he actually had to go cover a kick, cover a punt? How many times he actually had to be in the punt protection and do the kick slide back?
What? Valid. Right. Okay.
Super. Okay. It's not natural. Right? It's not natural, right?
Okay.
So in order to get those guys ready for the regular season, where you're going to have the Myles Garrett, or not the Myles Garrett, the Miles Killebrews of the world, the Terrence Garvers of the world. Heck, even me at one point was a special teamer, right? You can't just show up and have never played this before and think you're going to get up here and block me or going to make me, not be able to block you. Nah, because there is technique. There is a lot of rep and film study and detail that goes into that. And when I tell you, it is the most unnatural thing for us because ever since we were little people, we've always been the best players, right? So when you're talking about having to play kickoff, when would I've ever played special teams in high school? Man, you're the star player. You're the star offense and defensive player. When would you have ever had to do it in college? When you're starting and you're playing as a true freshman, you're playing as a true sophomore. It's like, man, you're not taking those special teams reps. No, you're in here learning this defense. You're in here ready for this matchup. So when you get to the league, now you go to the bottom of the totem pole because what? Man, that's TJ Watt. That's Patrick Queen. That's Deshaun Elliott. Those are our starters. They play defense. So the rest of you guys got to learn how to play special teams. And this is why we say this is how you kind of buy yourself time to get to that starting role on defense. Unless you're coming out as a first round or a second round draft pick, the odds of you starting week 1 are slim to none. So how do you buy yourself time to stay? How do you buy yourself time if you're the 4th, 5th, 6th, or even an undrafted guy who only plays in certain packages?
Right.
Special teams. Are you a core 4 guy? So kickoff return, punt return. That's why you see in the preseason the sloppiness, right? Yeah, call them core 4 because those are the 4 main special team plays, right? So with that, you'll see a lot of sloppy special teams play. Dudes getting touchdowns in terms of big returns, or you'll see punt blocks, right, in the preseason. And what we look at is if you can block a punt in the preseason, that lets me know that you actually know how to put your hands across the table and slide it versus when you look at guys in the preseason jumping up hands in the air like they trying to high five somebody. It's like, oh, it was a near miss. And all of us as like true football players, we're like, no, bro, that's a bad play. That's a mental error by him.
Technique. Yeah. Right. Okay.
The commentator is saying, great rush. Oh, he almost got it. We're like, no, man, you blew an opportunity. You dropped the touchdown. You dropped the interception because you didn't slide your hands across the table. But because you haven't been in those situations, you didn't know what to do. You froze up. The moment was too big, so to speak. So that's the mindset, at least in Pittsburgh. Okay. That's the mindset. So that'll give you a little bit.
All those guys are getting cut. Okay, got it. Okay, all those guys are getting cut. Okay, got it.
So look, and I don't even. The reason I personally don't do the joke, the cut thing, is because it's like this, right? For all those dudes that are out there, remember at one point Robert Spillane used to be one of those guys.
Yeah,
Robert Spillane is a $10 billion starting linebacker right now in the NFL. But at one point he was that
question.
Yeah.
Okay, so then as a fan, when I'm watching, I think this is interesting because, like we've always talked about, I think the way that you watch preseason games, and even the way that just like as a fan, I watch preseason games, it's like I don't know what's going on, like behind the curtain, behind the room, behind the whatever. And so for me, I'm just like, I want to see tackles. I want to see, like catch the football. Like I want to see like play calls that make sense. Like I want to see the basic things.
I want to see the finished product now. Absolutely.
Exactly. And what you're saying is that what is happening is not only is this a process, right? But somebody still has to be out there, and people have to be given the opportunity to make plays. Because if you give somebody the opportunity to make plays and they start making plays, then you say, okay, let's see them. Maybe can they make a play on defense? Like, let's just kind of test that. Okay.
Hey, look, I brought up Robert Spillane, right? But I'll take you one better than that. Before Robert Spillane, you remember Vince Williams?
Yeah.
Vince Williams was a special team core 4 guy. One of his moments where we finally said, man, he's about to take off. We all said this internally. 2015, this would have been 2016 season playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs, right? AFC, not AFC, the divisional round. The year we ended up losing to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. But I'm gonna say it's the opening kickoff.
Is that the Martavis Bryant year?
No. It might have been. I don't even remember specifically, but it could. Yes, because he didn't play in the AFC Championship. But in the division game, right? The game we won all field goals, right? No touchdowns, all defense. Opening kickoff, I want to say we kick it to Tyreek Hill. Vince Williams is the guy who runs down the field, blows him up within like the 20-yard line, drops like something crazy out there, right? It sets the tone for the whole game. But internally, defensively, even coaching staff wise, we all were like, yo, that dude making those type of plays, that's letting you know he's ready to take that next step to get on his defense. And if you think about it, what happened after that? That's when we moved on from Lawrence Timmons and it became shake and bake. Vince Williams and Ryan Shazier together. But it was because he was making so many plays on special teams that now we knew he was actually ready. He was graduating. And that's the part when we talk about like how all of these things work out. And that's why I don't even like do the whole, man, they out here right now. They suck, they trash. No, they're just babies.
They're earning their stripes. They're earning their stripes.
I'm like the amount of dudes that have like went on to have like crazy careers that have started on special teams in the bummy part of the preseason where nobody even cares about the game. It's a lot more of those guys out there than not.
Okay. And you know what's funny is you saying that is why I'm actually excited for the third game.
Absolutely.
Because it's kind of like, I feel like this is the cleanup crew in the best way possible. Right. Like these are the guys where you're like, okay, we got 9 spots.
90 dudes, right?
Number.
Okay.
Right. And so who are the 9, right? Like you'll be out there Thursday. Let me see the 9. Like I need to see the 9 that will pop because we do have a couple of spots. We have a couple of whatevers. And now I want to see you. Okay. That makes sense on that side. Now what happens on the flip side? Because why do we have all the slow guys back there returning?
Yeah. So once again,
same thing.
Do I want to have, if I feel like Roman Wilson, right? I'm throwing his name out there.
Okay.
But if we feel like Roman Wilson is going to be our main return guy going into the season, do you want Roman Wilson to be out there running punts back with the third team guys trying to block for him?
No.
With the third team guys that are trying to tackle him, they really don't athletically possess it all the way at this level. They were really good collegiately, but at this level it's just a little bit too much. So now you got the leg whips, you got the guys falling all over each other because they're just athletically not good enough for this level. That's what you also don't want to expose those guys to. And we always say, it's like, man, let the athletes play with the athletes, let the others play with others.
Yeah.
You don't put the TJ Watts. You don't put the proven guys. You don't even put the guys that you really feel like, man, I think he's going to be my main. You don't put them out there with those guys because they're going to trip the athletes. And even in practice, like even if we go to like an NFL practice, the beautiful part is this, right? Collegiately and even high school, you see bodies on the ground all the time. The NFL practice, if somebody hits the ground, you might get cut. Like, what are you doing on the ground?
That's a big deal.
You do not touch the ground. Athletically, you should be that gifted, whether you're going front, backwards, side to side. It doesn't matter. You don't hit that ground. So when you're talking in these preseason games and with some of those lesser than athletes, with all due respect, it's like,
well, they have to earn it. They have to earn it, just like we all do.
Right.
You got to get
absolutely.
Out of the mud. Okay.
Absolutely. So, but with
Thank
that,
you for this therapy Tuesday.
Oh yeah. So with that though, now we're trying to play the game of, can you get the best of both worlds? Because we all want to have our cake and eat it too, right? Yes. I want to have everybody out. I want to see them all. I want everything to be perfect, but I don't want any injuries. I don't want any negative exposure. I don't want nothing wrong to happen. And we would just say, in life, when can you ever play it like that? You can't. You have to minimize and mitigate. You have to analyze, or you have to have, some analysis on it, right? Which is going to give me the best chance for long-term success while minimizing the exposure to negativity, but also keeping me where I feel the best on top of that, right? It's a lot of different variables, but that's the strategy part. And that's how do you handle the preseason? Case in point, we talked about Coach Tomlin, you specifically, right? Super conservative in the preseason. He's not trying to show you anything.
Yeah.
You look at Chicago, night and day. Chicago's over here, man. We got checking at the line of scrimmage, got blitz coming on defense. Yeah. They're trying to look good, right?
True.
But does any of it matter right now? You could be undefeated in the preseason, drop 40 each week, and we saw the Detroit Lions go 0 for a whole season. We saw the Cleveland Browns go 0 for a whole season.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
I think the problem is there's a balance, and what I think is whenever there's time for us to balance, it's almost like we always go to the balance of like the super safe, and like I don't know. I was even watching like last night. I was watching Joe Burrow when I was watching. Yeah. Jane Daniels, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I know these guys, So I don't know. And again, I can bash Coach Tomlin all I want for all the things. At the end of the year, usually my bashing only comes down to like 1 or 2 games, and let's keep it real, some clock management, right? Because that's a problem. But everything else, so that's why it's hard for me to go against him. But it's also one of those things where I'm thinking, if you keep doing the same things you've always done, you're always going to get the exact same results. Yeah. And so at what point do we kind of like do we kind of just like maybe a little
I was going to ask you this. I wanted to ask you this. So what you brought up, right? At what point do you try something different? Just follow me here. We talked about Cincinnati Bengals, right? Joe Burrow. What's been the knock on them the past couple of years? They start super slow in September and October, right?
Yeah.
Even last year, terrible September, October, but they finished in crazy hot, right? Finished. Whoo. So in Cincinnati, the complaint has been what? Man, we start so slow. How do we do something different?
Yeah.
Play them in the preseason. Hey, Joe Burrow been playing in the preseason, right? Hey, take more reps, right? We got to start fast. That's their changeup, right? Because they start slow, finish strong. That's not us. We start fast typically. Our issue has been what? We didn't complain last year about the first 6 games. No,
we complained about the last 6.
Even when Big Ben went 11-0, we ain't complaining about the first. No, it's the back end. So how do you try to, mitigate that? Well, hey man, if we're saying our guys are getting burnt out, if we're saying specifically on defense, these guys tire out by the end of the season. Well, hey, let's try to give them a little bit more rest at the beginning of it. We say offensive, we need to score more. All right, so we went and brought in these veteran dudes, right? But once again, we got to make sure that they're still going to be here towards the end of it. So you're trying to just mitigate that. How do I give them more time? Now, does it suck for us as the consumer? Yeah, because I want to see Rods, I want to see DK, I want to see the guys, right? We want to Ben see them. But would you want to see them that much right now if that meant in December they're not going to be hitting on all,
Well,
is because that's
so
what
I think it depends on philosophy, right?
But I think it's different though, because we're talking specifically Steelers, and Steelers specifically aren't a young, talented team. They're more veteran, older. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, right? Aaron Rodgers. These aren't young dudes. These are veteran, older players that we got to be careful with.
I do agree with that. I think my only pushback is this: defensive guys, I'm almost willing to give them a pass. Only because I feel like our organization, we can give them a pass.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, we can always say we're probably going to have a pretty good defense. Okay, so I'll give you that. whenever you have offense where you have this new offensive line that we're still don't know if we trust them or not. You have a new quarterback.
They've been playing at least.
They've been playing great, right? They've been playing great. I'm just, me, I'm in like this relationship with them. So I'm giving them a little. And then you have this new quarterback. Okay. Then you have new weapons. And it's like, I just feel like it's a puzzle piece, and we just plop down all the puzzle pieces and we're like, it's going to work because we bought this puzzle and we know these puzzle pieces go together, but we're not going to test it until we face the Jets.
Yeah.
Week 1, first drive. I don't know. And
that makes it sound crazy. And trust me, that's why we feel how we feel. It makes you feel anxiety, right? But this is from the inside. This is our thing where we say, you're a professional, right? If you're a professional, you know exactly what to do when it's time to show up. If you're a professional, you know exactly that switch is going to flip. And when you lock in, you know exactly what time you're on. When Aaron Rodgers shows up and it's time to say, hey, it's 60 minutes, this is game week prep, there isn't any more of this. All right, tune it up for just 2 series, but then after that, ease it on out. No. We know how to lock in. That's never the issue. And sometimes when you sit dudes out the preseason, it's part of that as well, because we want to play. If we're going to play, man, don't hold me back. Let me go. But don't hold me back when I go out there and knock somebody out. Don't hold me back when I'm out there and I'm trying to score 50 on her. Now you telling me, hey, don't show all of that. And it's like, well, which one do you want?
Yeah.
And that's part of it as well, because we're all, in terms of them dudes at that level, full of testosterone, the ultra competitive. And regardless of what fans or even what they say media-wise, they all got that killer instinct. And that's what you also have to kind of gauge against. And you see that even when dudes get hurt. Dude get hurt, man. Most people, if somebody gets, if you got hit right now, right? You're not about to say, hey, can I get back in? No, you like, hey, man, doctor, police, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? You see dudes knocked out, arm facing this way, leg face that way, talking about, hey, coach, I'm good. Put some tape on, I'm straight. Because that's just how our minds are wired. So it's like all of that is involved with this. And now you talk about the managing of personalities. And that's what Coach Simon, what we say, does a great job of, because even though we don't always agree with his method, even though we don't always agree with what he is trying to, and visualize, or what he's thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead,
right?
We just trust that the end result is going to be what you just said, right? Man, we're going to complain. And at the end, we're going to holler about a couple of things. Man, I wish you would have challenged a little bit better. Wish you would have called a timeout a little bit better here. All right. But as a whole, we're going to be looking like, yeah, we still right here where we supposed to be in the disc, right here with all the tops. And now we about to see what's the difference. Can we separate? And now it becomes the philosophy of, is it Rodgers? Is it defense? How do you attack these quarterbacks, these superstars, right? But as a whole, we have the majority of the puzzle figured out. And I think that that's what we look at, the final part, and we maximize that way more than all this that we already have. We're not... These teams that got to do all this stuff right now, it's because they don't have it already figured out. It's because they don't have a formula that works.
Oh, so what you're saying is because we're elite average.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have as much to go. Okay.
Right.
See,
we're talking about...
Talk to me in my language.
Because we're talking about trying to go from here to here. Think about this, right?
We're not going from here to here.
Are you ready? Let's break it down. You a doctor. Miss PhD over there. All right, we ain't gonna minimize your smartness. We ain't gonna minimize your greatness. No, you a doctor, right?
Talk to me like I'm in 5th grade.
Now let's keep it G. Okay. When you first started out going to school in kindergarten, it was a long way to get to that PhD, right? You had a lot of ground you had to go. You had a lot of lessons learned. You had a lot that you had to do, right? You ain't had time to just be fine. No, man. We got a lot of ground to cover. Hey, throw it all out there. We ain't philosophy. No, we ain't had nothing. Figure it out. Get it going. But then once you got your master's degree, you only had a couple left to go get that PhD, right? So you ain't have
more years.
So, but you ain't have to go back and redo, middle school stuff. You ain't have to go back and redo high school, because you already knew it.
Therapy.
You already knew it.
Therapy Tuesday. You know what? Okay, Therapy Tuesday. Okay, since you want to use my own stuff on me and my own therapy.
I'm PhD over here. Come on, man.
No, I think you have a valid point. I also think too, because I thought this week, so as soon as the game was over, I asked myself, I was like, I feel like I just have this, I want them to win so bad. Like, obviously this is the preseason, like it is what it is. But to my core, I'm like, I want them to be so good, so bad that I'm like, can we where can we, like, I'm already trying to solve it and it hasn't happened yet. But so I catch myself going, like, by the way, we can talk about the linebackers because we might have a linebacker injury problem, but we'll talk about that.
It's getting scarce right now. I'm like, oh
yeah, like I'm like looking on the waiver wire. And I'm like, has anybody been cut yet? Does anybody need an opportunity on Thursday? But we're having open tryouts. So and then when I think about it, and I just kind of try to take a step back, and I'm like, okay, obviously I trust Coach Tomlin, right? I have that luxury of trusting him. But then I start to go, okay, but like, why? Like, why? But I guess what you're saying is like, our problems aren't other teams' problems.
Correct.
And so we're trying to do things that help us be in better positions.
We have a December and January problem. We don't have the September, October problem. December, January, you look at the past couple of seasons specifically, that's where we have fallen. It's been later in the year we start to fall apart, and specifically the defense.
And I literally come on camera and I like laugh because what do you do? Like, what do you say? So
we're like, man, how does it happen? And it's just like a snowball. It's like, oh, all right, it was just that week. Oh no, it's 2 weeks. Oh, is this 3 weeks in a row? All right, it can't be this week now. Oh, dang, we did that again. How'd it happen? You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah. You know what? I just started coming in for my therapy session. We didn't even say hello to the chat. We didn't say hi. We didn't greet everybody. I'm so sorry. Okay,
we had some things you had to unpack. All right, we had things you had to unpack. All right, and then you said the key word, special teams. I'm one of those guys that, hey, I love defense, man. That is my core, right? But whenever people bring up special teams, because I had to cut my teeth up, you heard the passion when I'm like, yeah, I had never covered a kick a day in my life. I was never in a special teams meeting a day in my life until I get drafted to the Buffalo Bills. And God rest his soul, Bruce DeHaven, he's passed away now. He's like, Arthur, you're going to be my R5. I'm like, bro, what is that? It's R5. How do you... Like what?
So tell us about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Whole story. Wait, let's say hi. Let's say hi to everyone. And then I have a question, because I think what you're saying again is an experience a lot of us will never experience. I'm not going to the NFL. I hate to break it to everyone that's listening to me. Okay, live playback all across the world. I will not be going in the NFL and playing football. So I need to understand. I need to understand this psyche. I need to understand what goes on, because you're bringing up something that as a fan, right? I don't have, I know what I think happens, but I don't have that experience of like how you actually do something you've never done before, because I've always wondered, how do you know what angle to take on?
No, absolutely. And, so look, we're gonna get into all of that real quick.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
You know what? Because both our chats are here, so let's give them some love. All right. So hey, I know we usually start our show a little bit different, but it's all good. It's all good. We here now.
Blame me. Sorry.
Drop it in the comment section for any channel. All right. If you're on channel, my channel, her channel, drop it in the comment section where you're tuning in from. So that way we can give you that big boy shout out to start the day's show. And of course, hit them like buttons on both channels and subscribe to both channels either, or also if you haven't done so just yet.
We are dual streaming. Also, you have some starred comments that I think you got when you posted live.
All right. If I can figure out how to get over there right now, because I am not seeing those.
I think if you go where it says live and then click star 3. No?
Nope. No, so you have the start. You have them over there. I don't have them on mine. Yeah, I think when some of the technology stuff we're having at the beginning, I think that's what it is. So you're driving right now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So because I'm in charge here.
Yeah, I'm about to say, unless those are new, those could be new, those could be, I don't know, but save a chance.
So we're going to give them a shout out. So Tito1911 gifted a membership to somebody on your channel. So congrats on that.
Tito, man.
By the way, I am going to take a minute here to do something Moats doesn't know I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to shout him out for his membership game. Okay. He is starting to drop membership videos. Okay, so if you are interested in Arthur Moats' life and whatever he has going on behind the scenes, okay, he has a membership. You can click and join the membership. You will get videos that come exclusively for his members on his channel. So it's a great addition, so if you're interested in that on his channel, click the link and join. Okay. I have it, but like his life is way cooler than mine. Okay. I just ramble and talk about random stuff. Man. Okay.
Listen, I'm learning from TaNeisha. All right. TaNeisha got the live game pop. She got the membership. membership game popping. All right, I'm over here like, yo, your channel's fire. All right, I'm learning. I don't care where a good idea comes from. That's what Coach Tom would say, man. Leave your ego and pride at the door. All right, we trying to build a championship unit over here. Be loud on your feet. All right, I'm over here like, oh, I like this. This is great. All right, hey, appreciate you teaching me. All right, put me on
whatever
game.
it takes, whatever it takes. So he has those membership videos popping. Okay, if you're interested, make sure you click that link. Here's a $4.99 super chat from, I can't see who it's from.
Is that Shazy84?
Yes.
Shazy? Yeah. Shazy. Yeah, I think Shazy. Yeah.
And they personally, they like that we aren't playing our starters in the preseason. Hungry dogs hunting for a roster spot will get someone hurt to make a play. Fair. I can't argue that. Okay. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And then the last one, and then I'll let you do the shout outs because you can do the shout outs, right?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Perfect. This is Sequario I. Harris.
Sequoia Harris. Yeah. Shout out to Sequoia.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. OG, that is to you. I am in the Berg right now, currently on North Shore, having a blast on a work trip. Just showering love to my OG. Time to take them to church. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. Peace to all. Mama Moats is proud of you. There you go.
Oh, okay. Man, shout out to y'all, man. Hey, shout out to Sequoia over there, man. Let's go, man. Take me to church one time, man.
You got it. We got the star. You got it.
All right, respect. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, I don't see the star. I'm like, yeah, I usually see the click. I don't see the link. All right, well, let's tap in, man. Let's see, who do we have here, man? We got the homie Rod Dollar pulling up on us, man. The 330 Youngstown, Ohio. Shout out to Shoreline, baby.
Is that a hookup? Are you a Texas fan? Are you in Ohio cheering for Texas on August 30th?
I don't think so. I don't know. Talk to him. I don't know. I'm about to say it. I do see the vibe though over here. The Don Hefe Quan in the building. Shout out to California. And he's at school right now, getting an education while getting entertained. I like it on the crossover. Shout out. Let's see, man. I got the homie. Okay, we got Craig Ellis in the building. Shout out to the 717 Lancaster, PA. Let's see. And if you see any names also, man, make sure you let me know. All right. Let's see.
I'm behind on
that. Are you behind? All right. All good then. All good. We'll shoot then. I'm gonna end it with a man. Actually, I do two more. I'm gonna end it after this one, man. But shout out to Jaron, Pittsburgh Steelers for life in the 559, Visalia, California. Nice. And he said he's headed to Reno, Nevada.
Have so much fun in Reno. So much.
Shout out. I like it. And then the last one will be from the homie Chris Hobson in the 724. Irwin, PA. Shout out to the Irwin, PA folk over in the building as well, man. And like I said, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful time. Oh, and we did get some clarity about that. His fandom in Ohio.
That's a shame. That's really a shame. That's such high hopes for you. That's really a shame. It's okay. I don't hold it against you. It's okay. You got one team right, so I'll give you the one team you got right. It's okay. Just if you're a Florida State fan, just tell me you're cheering for Texas on August 30th, and it will be okay.
There it is. Shout out to Rod Dollar, man. And listen, man, any of y'all that are tapping into the college space, though, man, trust me, man, TaNeisha's definitely one of the ones to follow, man. She does a great job, man, in terms of documenting what's going on at that level, man, specifically Colorado and Texas as well, man. So definitely lock in with her on that.
I love that.
I like it.
I just love this show. I get my therapy on Tuesday. First of all, I get therapy. Like, by the way, shout out to therapy. Okay, if you think you need to go to therapy, people, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything will be fine. I'm in therapy because the Pittsburgh Steelers, have me in therapy. Okay, it is what it is. All right.
Talk it out. It's all right. Talk it out.
To be in therapy.
This is a safe space. This is a safe space.
And I am so fascinated with everything. So sorry if I'm up here just grilling boats on questions, because I honestly watch football and I'm like, I can't wait to ask him this question. And so that is what I do. So you have questions. Yeah, but if you have questions, drop your questions. Listen again, be respectful in the chat. Okay. It's gotten better, but there's still a couple of comments that are, there's still a couple of comments that are a little, we won't read those.
They weave in like a compliment with the time. Y'all not slick, bro.
Okay, let's not put that. Let's not do that.
You're not slick.
Anyways, what was okay. So explain to us. Okay, so you get drafted.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people right now that are watching their favorite college player that got drafted or their favorite college player got picked up. and you go to the Buffalo Bills and they say to you, we drafted you for defense. Great, cool. All that's cute, but you're actually going to start on special teams.
Yeah. So the way that convo happens is this: you show up, right? And as a draft pick, man, you get that phone call, you feel on top of the world, right? Because literally everybody is swearing by you because you're a draft pick. You know how draft night was, you know how the build up to draft is. So when you're one of the chosen few, you feel like, oh my God, like I hit the lottery, right? And then you get there and you're like, man, I'm about to go be the starting linebacker. We're about to go start this trend, man. I'm about to go break records and all this other stuff. And you walk into the room and they're like, that's Paul Posluszny. He was the first rounder. He's also a new contract. That's Andre Davis. He's a 10-year vet. That's Kavika Mitchell, Reggie Torber. They just came up from the New York Giants when they beat Tom Brady and the undefeated Patriots. Yeah. They're the starters. They're actually going to play defense. You're the special team guy. You're the practice guy. You're going to take all the training camp reps to keep those guys fresh. You're going to play in all the preseason games to keep those guys fresh. But your main job is to learn special teams. So I had my first meeting, right? I have never even been to a special teams meeting. I never even knew that they meet before all the other meetings happen. So that's the super early I never even knew. Because once again, why would I, right? When I go to JMU as a true freshman, it's like, man, you're the second best edge rusher that we have right now outside of the 5th-year senior All-American. You're playing defense. We're not wasting time with you on special teams, right? So you never have to learn it. High school, man, nobody can block you out here. Man, I'm not worried about you. Score and stop them. All right, that's your job. So
score and stop them.
Like, that's what we cared about with you, right? So you get to the league, and now it's like, okay, I'm gonna teach you R5, and I'm like, bro, what is R5? Where do I even line up at? I've never heard of R5. I know what a 6 technique, a 7 technique, a 5 technique, but that's defense. That's alignments on the edge. So now we're talking about R5, and that's in the middle of the field, the hashes, right? You're on the hash. Now, when they say R4 is the space between the numbers and the hash. R3, numbers. R2, outside the numbers. R1 is your safety. So they're the last guys down the field if anything pops, they should be the fastest dudes to go chase it down. But learning that everybody has a rule. Everybody has hey, if you're on this side at the 3, your job is to do this. If you're at the 4, your job is to do this. 5 is this. And then when it was different rules, right? When I was first coming out, you could have what they call the 2-man wedge. That's when they would put them 300-pound offensive linemen back there and run and block for that guy running the kickoff back. And you see people go try to split it or people get knocked out. Yeah, I had to do that at one point in time. Absolutely. And they teach you how to attack it because in regular like defense situations, you play a double team very differently than when it's 40 yards open space and you're sprinting, but the ball carries directly behind that. So you have to literally learn all these different drills. So your whole first year, that spring training camp, OTAs, mini camp, yeah, you're doing defense, but it's a crash course on special teams. I remember I would get in trouble more for special teams than I was getting in trouble for defense my first year in Buffalo, and I was blowing all the calls on defense. But because I know how to get to the ball, I'm gonna make the play. So my alignment might be wrong, but I'm gonna make a tackle. When you talk special teams, if your alignment is wrong, if you don't know what you're doing, that's a touchdown. That's an explosive play, and it just matters too much in that space. So you have to figure out all of that. So literally, I could show you notebooks of just notes on special teams. But that's the difference, because if you don't treat it like that, if you don't treat it as, man, this is my job to be a full-time special teamer until I can get to defense, you will never get that opportunity. And a lot of guys struggle with that because you just never had to do it. So for 20 years, you've never done this. And now you go from being, when I left JMU, I was the Buck Buchanan Award winner, the National Defense Player of the Year, won it by the largest margin in the history of the award, right? And you go from that to, you're going to play R5.
Special teams.
hey, you're going to learn, you're going to kick slide. We're like, what's a kick slide, bro? Hey, line up as the guard on punt, and your job is to punch inside hand, vision out here, kick, all right? And then you got to learn how to count 1, 2, 3. But that can switch as these dudes are doing it, you know, when the play starts versus not starting. Kind of like when you watch watch Broderick Jones, right? Watch the offensive line, and the defense is blitzing or they're doing different line stunts and twists. And you see those guys talk about, you got to pass it off, right? Don't chase it. It's the exact same thing in punt protection.
This is so interesting.
But think about it. What linebacker, what former running back, what former safety has ever had to block pass stunts? These are TEs and like, what? I don't know what this. What is that? So you have to learn all of that. And you got what? When training camp starts? You got 3 weeks, 2 weeks before your first preseason game. And if you give up a block in a preseason game, you're getting fired, guaranteed. That's simple. Hey, you missed your block on kickoff and that return man got blew up, you're getting fired, guaranteed. Every time we talk about, man, why aren't we getting explosive returns in the preseason? And we go back and we go look at, we watch the play 11 times because it's like, hey, did you make your block? Yes or no. Did your guy make the tackle? Yes or no. Did you make your block? Yes or no. Did your guy make the tackle? Yes or no. And we go through and we look and we find out, oh, it was you that keeps missing your block? And you the guy who keep getting that return to kill, or you got the return to blast it? Nah, we ain't got time for that, man. So that's like why it feels like how it feels in the preseason at time and how it's so up and down with certain teams. But for the younger guys, man, I always tell them, man, you have to take special teams the same way you take playing your respective position. If you're a wide receiver, I don't care if Brandon Johnson makes 1,000 catches in the preseason. Boy, you better go make you a tackle on special teams. Miles Boykin. Miles Boykin is the same type of body type as Brandon Johnson. The difference is Miles Boykin go tackle. It buys you time until you're the guy on offense, until you're getting those reps. Because right now, that's what separates it. And you think about it, man, what was it? Tyler Vaughn's a year ago, right? Tyler Vaughn, crazy preseason. It didn't matter because you're not going to play wide receiver come week 1. You're not going to play wide receiver unless injuries happen, unless something bad happens. So until you get that opportunity, man, you better be out here figuring out how to justify your existence, because I'm not paying you to just be here. I don't need a 6 wide receiver that runs great routes but doesn't do anything else. My 6th, my 5th, my 4th wide receiver, man, you better be able to give me some special teams. Are you a returner? Can you cover? Are you a gunner? Miles Killebrew. Hey, I don't keep 4th safeties around just to keep them around. You better be a dog out there. And you getting paid more? So now it costs more than to keep a cheaper rookie? Oh, you really better justify your existence. And that's how it goes.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, as you're talking, I'm just thinking as an educator, I'm just thinking like nobody teaches you these things, right? Like we only see the game, the practice clips.
Product.
Right. We'll see a little bit behind the scenes, but nobody ever tells us the why. Nobody ever tells us the hey, let's be honest here. If you're a first round, maybe second round draft pick, this is probably what you're going to do. However, majority of people aren't there. What is that? 64 people every year? Majority of people have to come in. And yes, you were the star, the stud. You were all world. You were all everything. You won a national championship, whatever it is. Cool. That was cute. Thank you for that experience, because we do want that. But when you come here, you're going to be on second team, maybe third team, maybe special teams. You have to learn things you've never learned before. And by the way, you're not that guy.
Hey, TaNeisha, are you ready for this? If everybody is healthy at outside linebacker, when is Jack Sawyer playing?
Right. He's got to go in there.
National champ. Think about it. National champ, right?
Why are you
draft pick?
Why are you triggering me? National championship? You know what he did to Quinn Ewers. You know what he did to Quinn Ewers. Stop triggering me. You know better. You stop triggering me on this show right now.
For all my Texas fans out there, I apologize. I forgot. I am on the phone. I'm talking with a person that they got that Texas love. I'll apologize. Okay. So yes, he is a very productive player throughout his whole collegiate time, not just.
Jack Sawyer, all I saw was his hand, so I think Mueller's arm.
As a pass rusher, we call that's the pass rusher's perfect play right there, man. You get the strip, the recovery, and the touchdown. Oh man, you dream for that one.
You know what? We were fine. Everything was going fine.
It's like a Hail Mary. It's like a Hail Mary. How often do you see this? This is rare.
When he got
we still talk about Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary. Why? Because it's rare. It's like, bro, that doesn't happen a lot, bro. That's like, wow, bro. Fruity Flakes, man. Doug Flutie. Why? We don't see that often, man. All right, that's special right there, man.
So funny. That is so funny. As soon as you said that, it flashed. I was like, oh my god, I'm okay. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. It's just a dream. It already happened. It's not happening again. Anyways,
but that's the reality of it, though.
It's a good point, though. Yeah, I think it's a good point, and I think that I guess there's not a rule book or not a steps to becoming a pro, or you know what I mean? Like there's not like a guide. So we don't even know what's really happening. We just are waiting for preseason. We're like, ooh, waiting for preseason. And then preseason happens and you're like, where's my guy? What?
Right.
Is he, you know, and then you don't know. And then you like look for clips, and I have a feeling about clips, but whatever. That's not this show for this. But then you look at clips, and like every clip you're hanging on every little clip. And it's like, yeah, but did you see who else was in that clip? We always look at the clip to see the guy we want to see. But then when you look at the other side, you're like, is that the third string? Like, wait, who's that guy? And so it's like, anyways, I think that's a good context because I would have never thought of that. So makes sense. That makes sense.
And see, I think, and that's what's beautiful about what we're doing with this show now. It gives us a chance to, number one, you ask a lot of those questions that a lot of people have, but they just don't say it because number one, they don't have the opportunity or they trying to hide, right? Hey man, if I don't say it, they won't know. And it's like, well, yeah, if nobody ever says, then y'all are just never going to know. It's like, I know this because I did it, but it's like, everybody's just done it before, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the part that I think is cool. Okay. Yeah. And I'm sure the viewers, they appreciate that as well. And we even see that with the likes. So shout out to y'all hitting them likes and subscribing to both of the channels as well. But that's definitely, you know, some of that nuance. There's a lot of that with this game, man. So much of that.
I love that. Okay. And then the last show, somebody wanted to know your pregame rituals.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you have the same ritual for home and away? And how soon did they start? Like, how soon were you like, all right, games on Sunday at 3? Like, did the Sunday game at 3 impact a ritual for the Sunday game at 11 or whatever? Like, what was your, you know, your standard? We need to have like hashtag ask Moats or something so that like people can feel like they can ask. Because I'm going to ask. Okay, I have questions. But somebody might have a really good question that I'm like, yeah, I never thought about that. That's a really good question. But what did you do? Like, did you have certain things that you did, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, so for me, I had routines. I would always say, man, I'm not superstitious, but I like to be, you know, super order of operations, keep it exactly how it needs to be. So for me, realistically, it always starts the night before. Regardless of what time the game was going to be, night before the game, I got to keep it consistent. All right. So in terms of what I'm going to be eating, I like to have my pasta. All right. But more importantly, pasta, regardless, earlier during the evening for dinner, 3 chocolate chip cookies. I have to have my 3 chocolate chip cookies every night.
Do you have a sweet
before the game? Oh yeah, I'm like the worst. Yeah, like my coaches, man. Like this was throughout my whole career. I'm telling them all the time, like I'd much rather eat a bag of sweet tarts before I eat breakfast. I'm not gonna eat lunch. I'm just gonna eat some gummy bears. Like like plenty of times. Coach be like, yo, you know how much? I'm like, coach, I work out so I can eat junk food. I'm doing what I do, man. Like it is what it is.
So
yeah, man. Like literally, they know what it was. And I'm like, when my play is impacted negatively, then we'll switch it up. But clearly, we ain't tripping, man. So so 3 chocolate chip cookies mandatory. Now, next day, right? Depending on now, we start with a 1 o'clock game. Regardless of what time the game was, I'm always gonna have the same breakfast, right? I want my omelet. Okay. I'm a 3-egg omelet, bacon and sausage, and then I want 3 strips of bacon on the side. Okay. A little syrup over top just to glaze it. And other than that, I'm good. Just like that, nothing else. All right. That's going to always be the breakfast. 1 o'clock game, 4 o'clock game, primetime game. That's what I'm doing. Now, if it's not a 1 o'clock game and we're actually going to do, a true pregame meal, right? 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, right? Or 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Back to my pasta, but it's penne pasta, grilled chicken, broccoli. Then I need some garlic, some crushed red pepper, and that's it. That's it. Yep, a little bit of oil. That's it. Don't put no tomato sauce, no Alfredo sauce, no nothing. Not a lot of extra in it because when you're out there playing, you don't have time for anything to make you feel uneasy, anything to make your stomach feel questionable, or just make you respond in a way that you're not comfortable. So for me, the reason why I was so particular is once I figured out what I could eat that makes me feel good, taste good, but also I could perform with it. I don't want to play that game of how do I respond when I eat this or drink this, right? I'm gonna drink the same Pedialyte every time as well, right? Some dudes drink Gatorade and water. I'm Pedialyte because it's going to keep me hydrated. And I know I was getting 2 IVs, one before the game, one at halftime, right? Just to stay in shape, or not stay in shape, but to stay, hydrated so I don't cramp up, because that's what I would suffer from. That was my Achilles heel, so to speak, right? So that was what I would do, but that was my routine. I've looked at some other teammates and I always laugh because guys trying new things. I always go back to this was 2015 Miami Dolphins, us on the road. And if you look in the game, in the middle of the game, it's hot, but we in the end zone, they about to score on us. And if you look, we all looking back because my teammate Lawrence Timmons is yakking in the middle of the game, right? And it's coming out. And we like, bro, what's wrong, man? He's like, yo, man, I tried this new shake before the game, man. That drink got me tripping out right now. We like, hey, bro, we in the middle of this game right now, man. What you doing? Yeah. And we had to be scored on. But it was like, I'm sure some of y'all remember. There's clips out there. I'm not about to go pull it back up, but y'all can find it. I was right there next to him. It was like, yo, it's splashing. Yeah. But that's one of the things where he's like, yeah, this is why you don't try new things, man.
Okay.
And 2 weeks before that, he was yakking because we tried something else. It was like, bro, we don't try new things, man. Yeah. So for me, that was my thing. It's like, because the game is too much at stake. And my experiences, I wasn't the guy early on that ever felt like I had room for error. We talk about small margin for error for the Steelers as a whole, right? You look at the end, it's like, yo, they're winning, right? 10, 11 games, but it's like, it's 3-point victory, 2-point victory, 1-point victory. That's how I viewed my career. So it was always like, I don't have a luxury of showing up late to meetings. I don't have the luxury of making bad plays, putting a lot of bad stuff on tape. I have to be exact. I can't tell the coach, hey, man, my tummy hurt on this play. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
That could be different with my job.
The guy behind you. Yeah. The guy behind you is waiting for you to go to the bathroom.
You know why? Because I was that guy before. Hey, you got to go. Hey, go to the bathroom. Take him to the locker room. Go to the locker room. Yeah, the long walk. Okay. Oh, I got him now. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So for me, I was always just like, once I figured that out, I'm like, I'm not going to do anything that could take away from this opportunity because I know how hard it was to get it. But then when you actually get there, you see how hard it is to stay. You're like, man, this is way too cutthroat. So if you do anything to put yourself out there, say, hey, man, you deserve whatever comes from that, man. So for me, it was like, yo, if I got to be I felt like a serial killer at times. You just eating the same thing over and over. Regardless where you at, it didn't matter. It was like, yep, this what we. You already know what it is. Even my wife, like, man, it could be a home game. She already know. Hey, when he gets home at this time, this will be cooking. She already know what it is. And it was like, yeah, like I know y'all might eat something different, but I'm eating this.
Are you still like that? Do you still want the same things, or now will you?
No. Now I'm open. Okay. Yeah, now it's way different. Yeah.
So I have a very important question, and forgive me for this, but this is very important.
Yes.
Soft batch chocolate chip or hard chocolate chips, as was mentioned in the chat.
I prefer soft. Okay. Like I don't discriminate. Like, have I had? Because once again, it's a lot of hotels, it's a lot of traveling. Not everybody makes their cookies the same. Some people, it's a lot more of a crunch, a little bit more hard. Some aren't as like fresh and fluffy and break it. I prefer it to, be able to break apart, but not just fall off. You know what I mean? I want to have a little, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like
spoken like a real person who likes
sweets. Man. Yeah. Because I'll be biting them cookies and tell you, like, bro, it's about to break my tooth right here.
Seriously.
If I gotta break the cookie up to like eat the cookie, I'm like, this is too much right here.
I agree.
Like, yo, this is rough right here, man. But I love my sweets. I love cookies though, man. But that was my thing. Chocolate chip cookies, man. And the hotels get the big joints too, man. So I would literally be in my bed, watching my film, have my little notes right here, or FaceTime and wifey and stuff. And it's like, already? Oh, I'm about to knock this dude out with this plate. Show it. Oh, for sure. Oh, this is going to look great on this one right here.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. You are tuning in to our crossover episodes where we do therapy on Tuesday, Ask Moats Anything Tuesday, and we also talk about food, okay? Because nobody is ever upset about talking about food in any way, shape, or form. Like, I've never seen anyone say, can we stop talking about food? So this is very important, okay? We have learned today that Arthur Moats loves sweets. Okay, so for those of you that didn't know that, now you
massive
know.
Sweethead. Mass. Oh my gosh.
So we got that ritual in. So if you like this content, make sure you like the video on my channel, Really Flawed Football, on Arthur Moats' channel. Okay, make sure you like the videos. You're subscribed to both channels. Okay, if you like this sort of thing where we talk about all things, we are here for you. But no, seriously, if you like what you're saying, hit the like button, subscribe, all of those things. And I think it's interesting that we I guess we always see football players, and I think it's because you guys wear helmets. And so it takes away almost your identity a little bit with
absolutely.
We can even, it's even hard to understand body language the same when you can't see somebody's face. And so all we know is there's 11 of you out there. And if you watch a team long enough, you can start to notice certain tendencies of who a guy is. You can kind of guess. You can kind of be like, that had to be so-and-so because he always tackles like that or whatever.
Right.
But I think the interesting thing is I've never realized how much it's like a concerted effort outside of the game. And the difference in the game could be the effort that you're making outside of the game. Because
absolutely.
And I think that, and it's everything. It's not just like, did you study the play? That's easy, right? That's obvious. But it's like, are you sleeping? Are you having good relationships with the people who love you? Are you like all of these like factors where, like you said, like your wife has the food ready and she knows what you need? That's fantastic. The flip side of that is like, what if somebody doesn't even know what they need, or what if they don't have that? And so I think that like there's this nurturing of everything in life that we I don't know how much people really prepare for that part, because it's the pinnacle, right? Like it's the end all be all. There's 32 teams. There's only 32 teams. There's only 53 spots and 48 active on game day. That's it. Like, yes, you have the practice squad, but like they don't play in the game. And so it's like and so there's so many things that have to go right. And as a fan, I sometimes have to remind myself of that, because I forget that little nuance where it's like, what if he's been sick all morning?
Listen, TaNeisha, what you are doing, this is called compassion. This is called empathy. These are feelings that what you're articulating, I am super grateful for. I'm just not really accustomed to that in this space, because typically nobody care about that. I don't care about you. Your tummy hurt. Oh, your kid was crying all night. Oh, you had to go to the hospital because your baby was born on Tuesday, but you was playing in Houston on Sunday. Hey, but you got another game on Thursday. Hey, we won't talk about that. No. But that's
side.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
and a lot of dudes do struggle with that too, though.
Yeah. And listen.
Listen,
I want you to make a tackle.
Yes,
okay?
Let's go.
Make a tackle.
Yes,
make the freaking tackle. Yes, okay, win the game.
Yes.
But then there's the other side of this where it's like, what if? And this doesn't have anything to do with coaching. This has absolutely nothing to do with coaching. This has everything to do with you, the athlete, putting yourself in the situations to be successful, and you knowing what's best for you so that you can perform. And I just don't know if we talk about that enough. I don't know if we engage with that enough. We just assume TJ Watt's taking care of everything. We just assume everything's perfect. We just assume he's not sick. We just assume, you know what I mean? Like, we just assume when he's rolling around with his newborn baby, he didn't like accidentally strain his back. Like, we don't know.
But that's the part as professionals. So that's what we say as professionals. We're like, hey, it's our job to entertain. It's our job to show up. It's our job to make sure we're ready to go regardless of the circumstances. Yeah. And that's one of the things that, what I was really fond of with Coach Tomlin, because he kind of put a name on it for me, because I was always just like, I'm just consistent, man. I just do what I do. But he was like, nah, man, you're the McDonald's number one. It's the McDonald's number one. It's the Big Mac. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's the Big Mac. It's super consistent. It's not a 5-star. It's not, cheap in either, but it's consistent. You know exactly what it is. And it's always there. It's always available to you. He's like, man, be the Big Mac. Just be consistent every single time, because what that is it right. And you think about it, it's like, yo, man, you think about deaths that you have, right? Close friends, man. You talk about relationship issues, right? You talk about family issues. You talk about birth of children, losing children, etc. It's like, man, when you voice that publicly, you know what they say? Man, you get paid millions of dollars. We do not care. Right. But then you look at, how many people, not even football players, but just wealthy people that struggle with mental health, that pass away through suicide, because it's a lot of that. But we ain't here for sympathy. It is what it is. But that's the part that it's like, yeah, man, these dudes do go through a lot. I'm privy to kind of know it. And that's why I'm a little bit more like intentional about how I talk about them and stuff like that. But it's like, man, understanding that side of it and seeing it, even personally knowing how the dudes struggle while they're doing it. And then when it's over, because not everybody gets to have the ending that I even had, right? Where it's like, you played 9 years, you had the contracts, you had a lot of success, and you get to walk away, so to speak. Man, I know dudes got rolled up out of here, literally, right? It's like, dudes that get cut, and it's like, yo, put your family picture in a trash bag with a name tag on it that says, yo, such and such by the door. And it's like, man, that's what you get accustomed to seeing. So we always just say, man, we try to be a little bit more just, sensitive about that part, but it's hard for a lot of people to relate to that because of how much money the dudes get paid, man. And that's just the human element of it, right? When we see somebody having more than others, people are going to feel some type of way about that. Some look at it and they applaud it and they support it. Others, they have a little bit more resentment and jealousy towards it. Nobody's going to be perfect. It is what it is, but that's just kind of, you know, the minutia, the behind the scenes in some of those spaces. And
so yeah. Do you I kind of have so going from like college to the NFL, did you feel obviously there's a difference, but did you feel like you had to almost like hone in on yourself a little bit more? Like did you evolve?
Are you ready? This is what they say. Chris Carter told me this. We were at the rookie symposium when I first got drafted. Says now it becomes Arthemos Inc. Incorporated. You are your own business. You are the CEO of you. So you determine your sleep schedule. You determine your nutrition schedule. You determine your workout schedule. Are you a guy that works out with others? Are you a guy that works out private trainer? Are you a guy that works out by yourself? Right? You got to determine, are you a guy that wants to, you know, fly to multiple cities, have multiple ladies, or are you a guy that's, hey, this is my home base. This is what I do. This is my brand. Are you a guy that wants to be in the community? Right? Are you trying to have impact, or are you a guy that wants to have a brand that's for, you know, the nightlife? You have to decide that, but you your own CEO. And at this level, you only get, you know, it ain't a long time to make a mistake. It's like, figure it out. And you better figure it out in a hurry, because we are going to put you on Front Street. How many times do we see, hey, Jordan Addison or this player or whatever name we want to bring up of a young player that might have got in trouble for something? It's like, dang, we all know what it's like to be 21, 22, but we never been 21, 22 with millions of dollars in the spotlight. And that's the part where they're like, yo, you got to understand that you mentally have to be 55. You mentally have to be a 60-year-old CEO of Microsoft. That's what you are. But at 21, 22, with all your friends and all this money, all the limelight, and everybody telling you just be young, wild, and free. But hey, you better make every decision perfect.
But don't be too wild and too free.
Right. And if you mess up, we're gonna crucify you. We're gonna talk so crazy about you, and you better not be one of the chosen few that, you know, has an allegation or whatever, and it still goes away. It don't matter. Once it's out there, it's out there. You're gone. Yeah. So it's like you have to be perfect. And this is at 21, 22, 23. So it's extremely hard on a lot of these dudes, man, because you're just young. You're young.
Yeah.
Now that everybody's able to lock in and say, you know what, man, let me tap in. And I know for me, I was fortunate. I walked into that room when I said Paul Posluszny, right? He was the youngest outside of me. Everybody else in there was 30 plus, families, married, kids. So it was like, bro, you're not running around. We're watching film.
Right.
You're gonna massage. You're gonna take care of your body. I don't care about the nightlife. We're not flying there. We're not doing this. We're watching this. And then I'm gonna go home and talk to my wife, my kids. You're like, that's what this is? All right. So that's that's what imprinted on me. But I'm like, if I was in Miami and Atlanta, LA, who knows? But that was my fortunate part of being drafted to Buffalo. I say it all the time. I'm like, man, as much as I wish I was going to the Jets, the Giants, to the Dolphins, to Atlanta, to, you know, the Raiders, the Niners, I'm like, man, am I sitting here today? If I'm there, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I needed to be where I was at, man, because it's just too much when you're that young at times to, you know, constantly maneuver through it and be perfect every time. And that's why dudes at this level struggle a lot, man. Yeah. And this is not even talking about on the field. This is all just off the field stuff.
It's off the field, right? And we spend more time off the field. You spend more time off the field than you do on the field. And you know, what is that saying? Like what you do outside of whatever, what you do on the outside shows whatever that fancy term is.
What you do outside of it shows more inside, right?
Let's man, smart person.
One of them PhD people, man. I ain't never had one of them before. I ain't got one of them. I
don't know anything about that.
You smart people. We're talking about you people over there. I
don't know. I think it's interesting too. And listen, I like, this is therapy. I'll keep saying this is Therapy Tuesday. We're here to talk about football. At this point, we're here to just talk about it. Okay. So because I think the context is important. Now, do I want the Steelers to go out and win every single football game? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I also am a why person. Why did this happen? Yeah. Where did this go off the rails? Like, are we just not very good at making tackles, or are our linebackers like just can't stay healthy? And that's a whole different issue because, you know, anyways. But I think it's interesting to look at it from all the different angles and not just look at it once they get on the field, Because I think if you see it that way, it's a little bit easier for you to see other things as well. Yeah. Because then you're looking at other things. Like maybe Patrick Queen is absolutely amazing, but he plays really well next to Highsmith, and Highsmith can't stay healthy. So that's going to impact Queen, because what Highsmith does really well, Queen doesn't, vice versa. But then you put a guy out there that they all do the same things well. We've messed up everything, because now we needed the dynamic that we're not going to get because a guy is hurt. But my point is like, I don't think we think about it like that. We only think about it like, no matter who's out there, everybody should do the thing. And it's like, but
well, and look, the same way at our respective jobs, right? Not everybody is showing up to work to be the best. Not everybody shows up to work and actually did what they were supposed to do before they came into work.
No, that's true.
Not everybody stays focused the whole time they at work. Some people, at the beginning of the shift, they're great. At the end of the shift, oh my God. Some people at the beginning of the shift, they're absolutely terrible. And at the end of it, oh my God, they are perfect, right?
Listen, I get better with time. I get better with time.
Look, it's the same thing. But that's why we say the guys that show that they're more consistent, they get paid the millions. If everybody was TJ Watt, we wouldn't have to pay TJ Watt $42 million. Right. TJ Watt is an outlier, right?
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, outlier. Aaron Rodgers, outlier. There's a reason why there aren't a lot of Aaron Rodgers walking this earth. And there's a reason why we handled the waiting on Aaron Rodgers the way that we did this offseason, the way that we did, for a reason. Because there aren't people even at this stage of his career that can do what he's capable of. So that's why when you find some of these younger players that can, you try to pour into them. But it's that fine balance of, we do want to win every time we're out there. If they're keeping score, we want to win. Right? So preseason, they're still trying to win, but we're not trying to win at all costs.
At the expense of,
Right. Whereas in the regular season or in the playoffs, man, I've talked to dudes. I've been one of the dudes myself that have said, man, I will die for this victory. Literally, I've put my head out there, and coach look at me like, bro, you will break your neck. Are you stupid? I'm like, coach, for this dub, I don't care, because that's the mindset.
Right.
Like, even when my man Shazier, when he went down, we obviously know how that ended. It's like, it sucks, but it's no regret when we was out there. It's like, yo, you're playing because when you are trying to win, you will do whatever it takes. So trust me, preseason, we still want to do that, but we're not willing to risk our high-end assets for these games that don't have the same type of, when you do it out here, you die in glory. You die in the preseason, man, no one remembers it. You die in the regular season, it's remembered, but hey, man, it still is a certain degree of it. But you gotta be one of the ones. You gotta be really chasing something special. And that's the difference. And that's why preseason is just all of that you have to mitigate, all that you have to manage. And that's why you don't put the killers out there for too long with those dudes, because it's like, man, we don't know how to turn that switch off. Once it's on, it's on. It's like,
and I think it's interesting though, because that concept is hard for somebody like me to understand.
Well,
I think
I want to cut you off, but this is
go ahead.
Because we say this is the other part, right? Not to cut it off though. People view preseason as what? Less than regular season. So the assumption is we don't have to go full speed out there. Just get some reps, right? Window dressing. Problem is, you can't half play football. If you're playing football, it's either 100% or you are going to get seriously hurt.
True.
So you can't have that also. And that's why it's like, man, I think when we watch preseason games, the assumption is, man, play your starters, but man, they're going to take it easy. Don't have them out there and hurt each other. Like, hey, it's agreed upon. It can't happen, because all it takes is, if these are your 10 starters, but that's the one guy that's not a starter that's trying to prove himself. That's all it takes, man. Yeah. And now that $100 million, that $40 million, that $20 million dude is done because of this dude who should have never been out there with him, man. Yeah.
And I think that's fair. And I think, I think the mindset of a professional athlete is not something that a lot of people will understand, because we just don't have that experience. But then at the same time, I think if you take that and put it into something else that you're really good at in life, whatever that is for you, whether you're an amazing parent or amazing at your job or an amazing content creator or amazing, whatever you're amazing at, I think the question is, can you turn that off? Can you turn off being amazing at that thing just because it's a different day, or just because it's a different time? Or just because like And I say this about myself sometimes too, like when I'm creating content, because sometimes you can become a little bit obsessive if you're not careful, because you're like, I want this line perfect. I want this perfect. Yes. And sometimes you can't turn it off because you're like, screw it. I'll just stay up the extra 30 minutes and I'm going to make this thing perfect.
If it take all night, Coach Tom would say, yo, we are not paid by the hour. And that was my favorite thing. I don't care how long it is. We ain't paid by the hour. Out there 5 in the morning. We're going to figure this thing out. And you better not be tired the next day sometimes
as a creator. And some people will tell me, like, you're doing too much. And I'm like, to you, I'm doing too much. To me, I could lay my head down at night and sleep fantastically for that extra 30 minutes. But to you, you think I'm working really hard. And I am, but I have to, because this is like what I want to do. And I think that's the same thing you're saying. Just it's more your body. And so it's a differentiator, because it's like, I'm expanding my mind.
Yeah,
you're doing it physically, mentally, and all emotionally, and all the different things. Okay.
Yeah.
So having said that, what do you think about the Panthers game? Are you expecting just to see a bunch of, like, let's just see who we got. Let's just see who's out there. Let's leave it all out there, like a hodgepodge of, we want these guys to get jobs somewhere. Let's just put it out there. Or are you expecting any surprises by, like, who's going to be on the field?
I think more of the first thing, guys getting opportunities to get just good film. Number one, because a lot of these dudes are going to play a lot of reps right now. Some of these dudes have never played in a preseason game. These first two preseason games, it's going to be dudes that play on Thursday night that have never stepped in the game in those first two games, period. And that's before you even talk about Aaron Rodgers, right? If Rodgers was out there, then that list would be even longer, right?
Right.
So you want those guys to get opportunities, because they are the ones that we have called camp bodies. They're the ones who have kept TJ Watt on the sideline, not having to take every single rep. That's the guy that's kept Cam Hayward don't have to take reps, even though he's holding in, right? Still doesn't have to take those reps. That's the guy that saves Aaron Rodgers' arm, that saves DK Metcalf from running every vertical route, or saves Miles Killebrew from covering every kick in the preseason, every kick in training camp, practice, and OTAs. It's like, so this is kind of like their opportunity. So the only surprise that I wouldn't even call it a surprise, the only thing that I'm really wanting to see on Thursday, though, can I get my offensive line unit? I still want Broderick, that same unit that's been out there those first two games. I want them again. I don't necessarily have to put Seyu Malo out there, but I want those other four out there, because I think they have to keep playing. They have to keep getting positive reps, and that's going to build their confidence. And it's also going to build the coaching staff's confidence in them, because right now it feels good, but it's vanilla. You're not seeing a ton of D-line twist. You're not seeing a ton of exotic blitzes. You're not seeing a lot of shifts, pre-snap stuff that make offensive linemen have to talk and question, hey, man, how are you blocking this up? So it's easy right now. It's man on man. Athletically, if you are what you say you are, you should be able to look good here. Broderick Jones is a first-round tackle. You should not have anybody in the preseason that's a bad matchup, because preseason, if you're a great athlete, you should thrive in the preseason, because it's not a lot of scheme. It's not a lot of, man, we're doing things to take this away. It's just man on man.
Yeah.
Regular season is schematic. I'm trying to highlight that matchup. I want to find the weakest link of your starting 11. So if that weakest link is Caleb Johnson in pass protection, I'm going to create every opportunity to make him have to one-on-one pass block.
Yeah.
If your left tackle is the weakest person, or your right guard, I'm going to create everything pre-snap to make it where it has to be one-on-one. And I'm going to do it for 60 minutes. And we're going to find out. Preseason, way different mindset. Preseason, man, y'all get out there, man, when you're one-on-one. Do your job, right? Don't blow an assignment. It's vanilla. Stay healthy. Regular season, I'm trying to gut you. I'm trying to make you hurt. I want to find what it is that you don't like to do, and I want to see if you can do that for 60 minutes while I'm doing you dirty. That's what the mindset is. You know what I mean? And,
I like it.
Yeah, and it goes both ways. The Jets are going to be doing the same thing. The Jets are going to be looking and saying, okay, what did the Steelers struggle with last year? What did they struggle with this year in the preseason? What are some of the things that we know about some of the new additions, right, that they brought in? Rodgers, DK. What does DK struggle with? Hey, man, how does he handle press man? Okay, man, what does Rodgers struggle with? How does he roll to the left? We know he had the Achilles. When he could roll to the right, how does he roll to the left, though?
Yeah.
So if I know he struggles going this way, or he's not as comfortable, when I'm blitzing, when I'm sending pressure, which way do you think he's coming from? Preseason, I'm not doing that. Preseason, man, give me a regular fire zone just to get a blitz on tape, right? I'm not over here caring about, hey, does he want to roll right? Does he want to roll left? I'm not over here like, yo, who's the hot receiver? All right, that's his favorite receiver, so we're going to double team that, bracket the hot receiver, blitz to the side that he doesn't like to run to, and now we got him having to do rolling opposite and going to a number 2 or number 3 receiver who hasn't really proved himself just yet.
Okay.
That's the schematic part. That's what we're going to start finding out soon, right?
Yeah.
But preseason is just hard to get that because we can have that mindset that we want to get those answers, but then the Bucs don't play their guys. So now it's all for nothing. Or
it's hard.
We can have this mindset, but the Jaguars only play their stars for a series. So now it's like, okay, cool, but this is second and third team Jags. I don't care about DK hitting this great move against this because it doesn't count. It's not realistic. Hey, Brodge, you blocked these guys great. I'm happy for you. Small nugget, but you're not blocking, Myles Garrett right now. You're not dealing with this Jets pass rush that they're going to be sending out you with, the nickel coming, the safety blitz, and they're not sending that just yet. Everything is static right now. So those are the things that, like I said, we're going to get those answers soon, real soon, unfortunately. But that's why Thursday, I want my O-line. I want the O-line to still be out there to just keep building, because they're going to be challenged the most because they're the most inexperienced. DK knows how to ball. DK knows how to play.
And let's be honest, though, I think any Steelers fan will tell you, and even people that aren't Steelers fans, that are just watching the Steelers, they will tell you that's our thing, right? Is this offensive line has to be something. I always say they don't have to be the absolutely best in the NFL. I mean, that would be fantastic. I'll accept it.
I would love it.
But they need to be better than average. Or even if they're average, I can't remember the data, but like even if they're average, I feel like that's a little bit better because we can grow with average. Like, let's be average and let's work to being better.
Yes.
But that's like our biggest calling card right now is like, we don't know. We don't know. We think we know, but we don't really know. And then God forbid, worst case scenario, right? Somebody goes down, even if it's for a drive. Who's coming in? Because that's been my issue is like, okay, I see the first team, don't like the low snap and all that. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But then when the next team rolls in, I'm like,
because we would all agree there is a drop off. We have seen that part. Yes. And that's where I'm looking at. I'm like, I want my guys to keep developing, keep growing, but I also don't want to waste the injury risk in a meaningless preseason game. But at the same time, I need them to keep going because I know what week 1 is. I know what week 2 is. Like, we can keep that thing going when the regular season hits. Like,
So, and that's my concern is like, first team, do I have concerns? Yes. But my biggest concern is once they're out of the game, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. All right. So maybe listen, let's keep our starters out there for like 2 drives. After that, let's rotate it. Let's just go ahead and like rip the Band-Aid off and throw them out there.
But I definitely want my young guys though. Definitely play my young guys. Roman Wilson, Caleb Johnson, Derek Harmon, YA. I want young guys. I want young guys. 2 series or a quarter tops for. Because like with Roman's going to be playing early.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's playing. Period.
He's going to be playing. Yeah, he's playing. So I'm like, I don't want that out there too much longer, but he missed a whole year realistically of football.
That's true.
And even what he's winning on right now, you look at, the 43-yard catch that he had in the game. I actually did a little film review on that too, man. But, watching it, it's like, man, I like some of the detail that he has in the route, but there's still certain parts of it where I'm like, when that's a Jalen Ramsey over there, you're going to need to snap this a little bit crisper. You're going to need to have the angle just a little bit. It's that type of stuff. And even the ball placement, it's like, for this situation, it works. But that's the part where it's like, it's the game inches, literally.
Yeah.
And the matchup matters. I mean, you going against a Jamel Dean is different than, like you said, you're going against a JPJ, for example. You're going against some of these other higher end dudes. So it's like, that's the part where preseason, you see certain things, and that's why it's like with Roman, it's like I've seen a lot of good, but I still know he has more room to grow, a lot more room to grow, and it's only going to happen in stadium. It doesn't matter how much film he watches, he's past that stage. That was all last year. Last year, he was on just, hey, you're a redshirt. Watch all the film you can watch, practice as much as you can practice. Now you need game reps, bro. Like you're to that stage where game reps are what's going to help you the most. And that's, why I'm like, I want him to still get some in projects the same way. It's like game reps. Because left tackle. Left tackle is a different position than right tackle. Night and day. They're different positions. They both play tackle, but they're different. So it's like, man, you need game reps. So that's the thing where it's like, get them the reps, but got to be cautious. And that's the name of this game right now. Because it's like, man, do you keep him out there for 2 series? But if it happened on the second series, now we're like, man, it should have just been 1 series. But then it's like, man, you just don't know. So that's why you say, man, you can't.
You just gotta go with what you think. You go with what you think and you stand on it. That's it.
Absolutely.
Like, one thing I hear you saying is we're going to the Super Bowl. Woo!
That's my look. I don't know. I don't know how other teams talk. I don't know how other people do it. I don't know, but like with me, it's always we're chasing the confetti. And I don't care how you get there. I know for some people, and you've heard us talk about this, right? Some people, it has to be pretty. I want to win by 30 every week. I don't want to ever feel uneasy. You know me. I don't care if it's super rough, rugged, nasty, dirty. We got to get it all the way out the mud. I love it. The nastier the better. The nastier the better. Come on.
I love that.
Yep, that's my mind. Because I'm like, man, if you really believe it, man, it doesn't matter what the road is. I don't care about the road. I don't care. I'm going to get to the end. I know I'm going to get there because I believe.
Just a step in the process.
That's it, man.
Tell people, like, I love the process. Like, you'll find me in week like 7 to 11, 12, where everyone's down on the season, right? Because it's already happened and we're getting comfortable and we're used to it and you don't appreciate it anymore. 7 through like 12, I'm at my best because I'm like, all right, we have enough evidence so I know what's going on. I've watched enough and I feel like I get that second wind. And now I kind of know who we are. And now I want to see us get better from 7 to 12. Because if we get better from 7 to 12, usually 12 on is a little bit better. But and that's the joy of football is you're either a fan that just like likes the beginning, you get all excited, and then you fan out and you just or you see it out, right? And you grind it every week. Chat, leave me alone on that one. But you figure it out and you like make it make it work. You make it work week after week after week. And that's what I want to see in all of my teams, like not just the Steelers, but like, it's like, I want to see you work it out. I want to see your process. I want to see you get better. I want to know that, hey, yes, we did that in the first quarter, but now in the fourth quarter, we're ready for that because we know it's coming. And I think that I'm excited for that. Now, I don't want to say this third preseason game is a wash to me because that's not what I mean. But I think in a lot of ways, and when I say wash, I mean that in terms of we're not going to see anything new. We're not going to see anything fancy. We're not going to see anything that we haven't already seen. But it's a chance for those little things. Maybe we'll kick a lot of field goals. So it's an opportunity for our field goal team to run on in pressure situations. It snaps. Is
it Logan Lee snapping this week on special teams? Because remember, that's another thing, right? We think of snap it. Yeah, we don't have multiple long snappers. Yeah, it ain't like you putting a center out there. Like,
right. So like, there's those little bitty things that I feel like it's going. A lot of people have already seen. They're like, oh, I'm not watching this game because I'm like, but this is where it matters. This is actually where the grind matters because you got it. Those little bitty things, you have to pay attention to those. So maybe my obsessive like football fandom is coming out, but like these are the games where I'm like, okay. Snap. Okay. Field goal. Who's lining up? Do we look good? What do the penalties look like? I'm like tuned in. Anyways, I'm just ranting and raving about why I think that like all of these they just matter. And just because it's not a game doesn't mean like there's not opportunities for us to get better. And that's what I want to see. I want to see better snaps from the center. I don't care who's at center. Better snaps. Yes. Thank you.
Like you said, man, you can't start the play without getting the snap. And you think about it, I would say small victory is this: no ball on the ground. Last year preseason.
Oh my God! Do you remember that? Do you?
Okay. Even in the regular season.
No. Okay. Was it the first game? Was it the very first game?
It was literally the first like all preseason games we had. Every preseason game. And in the regular season as well, we ran through some of them issues in the beginning part. Yes. And it wasn't just when it was just Bills. Even when Russ came out there, we had an occasional. Yes.
I will never forget texting my dad and going, this is a problem. And him going, it's preseason. And then week 3, he was like, oh, you were right.
So that's why, like, when I look at the snaps, I'm like, lowish. Last year was that. Yeah. We ain't seen it on the board. It ain't been on the ground. It is not on the ground. Was it a low?
You know what? It's not going to be on the ground. We're not going to do any tosses.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So it's like you'll have some like you want every snap. Trust me, as a center, you want every snap to be perfect, right where the quarterback is catching it without having to move. But we're human, right? So if you snap the ball 100 times, but this is your window, right? low is to the knees, high is to the shoulders, wide is right here, where I can just kind of open my arms up, I'm always going to be all right. It's the big misses. The one that goes over my head. It's the one that rolls back on the ground. It's the one that I can't get to. So I got to run over here. Now I'm screwed, right? Whereas even on the Mason play, it's like, was it low? Yes. But he's still able to get eyes up. Now, it throws off his time and it throws off his ability to process. And that's why you look at the higher end, the Aaron Rodgers of the world, and we say, those guys are good enough to say, I can make you right even when you're not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Force multipliers. TJ Watt. Even if my D tackle next to TJ doesn't have a great pass rush, TJ is so gifted, he can make it right.
Yeah.
Force multipliers. So you pay your force multipliers, then you got your glue guys, right? And that's why when Rodgers gets back out there, it's like, if all your snaps are just going to be in this little bubble, Aaron Rodgers should be good enough to make you right even when you're wrong. And his track record from an interception standpoint does reflect that too. Aaron Rodgers hasn't had perfect center play throughout his whole career where every single snap is good, right? But you look at his interceptions, he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. That's been one of his best calling cards. And he's a dude who throws the ball a lot as well. So that's the thing where I'm looking, I'm like, force multiplier, when you got to step up. In those scenarios like that, you got to step up. And the same with some of these routes. Man, not every receiver is going to be able to create separation.
So you have a force multiplier. You have a glue guy. What other?
I mean, just in the sense of like, when you're just going through like how you're building up your roster, because you got to have stars, right? Your force multiplier or star is like, that's the TJ Watt. Like, he's good enough to count for 3 players, right?
So I'm just curious to see what
glue guy. Glue guy's the guy, like you said, man. You're not the superstar, but you're a quality starter. You're a guy that, man, you do this extremely well, and that complements Minkah Fitzpatrick, right? When it was Deshaun Elliott or when it was Terrell Edmonds, right? And it was like, you're the physical box guy, so he can do all this sexy, beautiful stuff. Remember when we lost that physical safety? And we're like, where's Minkah? What's going on, Minkah? And we're like, well, we don't have that guy, so he has to do that right now.
You're right.
Right.
Okay.
Ryan Clark to a Troy Polamalu. Glue.
That's a good example.
Force multiplier, right?
Okay.
Shake and bake. Vince Williams, Shazier. It's like one guy does the messy, one guy is the star. And that's, kind of how I look at it. And then from there, you just, you try to find the best players to build out your roster from there. But those are, just kind of like the ones that kind of just jump off the tongue to me, so to speak. But you got to have,
makes sense.
And I always, guys.
I always say, and we'll have this conversation another day, because if you could start a team, you don't have to answer this right now, but I always ask people, like, if you could start a team and you could have one guy on offense and one guy on defense, how would you start? Who is the first guy you would want to start your team? And it's always interesting to see how different people answer that question, because everyone goes different directions. Like, some people will be like, I'm a receiver, and I'm like, hardly anybody ever focuses on like the heart of the offense and defense. Everybody wants the flash, but nobody wants like the fundamental, like literally what starts the plays. And so it's always interesting to me just to see like how different people look at football, because I think that's what that's about, is how you view how the pie has to be made. What ingredients are you using to bake that pie? So that's interesting. So, okay.
And it's no surprise. You look at the team or the teams that have been the best lately, and you look at what they're doing in the trenches.
Facts.
The Chiefs make you forget that they try to run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs make you forget that they actually play defense. The Chiefs make you forget that they got dudes up in their trenches, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, that will beat you up in the trenches. True. Philadelphia, we love to talk Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Look at their trenches, that O-line and that D-line. You look at that. That's where they're whooping up on you. And for a while, that's where the Steelers have been able to have success, right? But now it was a little bit more lopsided. Just defensive line, O-line was a little bit up and down these past couple of years.
Yeah.
Now they got they got talent in there, but it's still, we got to see if it's going to produce.
We need to see if there's glue.
Right. Yeah, dead serious. Because you might just, because it's the thing, right? With the O-line, I look at, let's see, Zach Frazier. I say, man, Zach should be a force multiplier. By this year, he should be Pro Bowl. He should be All Pro. He should be in that convo, right? Yeah. I look at Troy Fautano. I'm like, man, on paper, when I look at you, man, I feel like you should be a force multiplier. The way that you move, the way that you play out there. You're next to Mason McCormick. So if I got two force multipliers, Mason should always look good, right? At left side, I just say, Umalu, you're my force multiplier. You're the proven guy. You're the guy that knows what you're doing. So if I got you next to Frazier, who I feel like Frazier is also a force multiplier incoming, right? He's getting there. That means we should have a lot of help for Broderick. That means you should be able to be there for Broderick because you know you got somebody that has your back versus you don't know if your center is good or if your tackle's good. Now you don't know who to help.
Right.
That's the fair part where I'm looking and I'm like, okay, so now for Broderick, are you a glue guy? Or are you the first rounder that we think could be the force multiplier? Now we get back to that killer B era of Marquise Pouncey, David DeCastro, Ramon Foster, Marcus Gilbert, Kelvin Beachum / Al Villanueva. Where you're like Pro Bowl, All Pro, Pro Bowl. It's like, how do you get there? But take it back even further. But that same group that you heard me ring out, look what they were in 2013. Look what they were in 2012. Yeah. You see what I mean?
No,
growing pains. It takes time. Absolutely. So the hope is this group's time. This is now they're ready to take that step. That's what the goal is. But
that's tough to play in this league, man. Right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The draft. Like that is building from the draft, and that is what you're supposed to do. And you're supposed to kind of get them. And once they're here. Couple guys have been here a little bit longer, maybe a year or two, but they're all the same nucleus. So when they need to get paid, we're okay with that because they're doing their job. And like I always say, I will pay you if you're doing your job. You will get no argument from me if you're doing your job. It's when I don't know if you're going to do your job. Then I'm kind of like, I don't really know. Like I'll probably pay you, but I still kind of like, what am I paying for is the biggest thing. But anyways, I know we've been on for an hour and a half, and so
we just be having fun, man. You know what we do.
We just can't help ourselves. We just
look, TaNeisha, only me and you could be talking for 90 minutes on a second preseason game where we didn't even have any starters out there. You notice what we do because we football junkies. We love it. And y'all in the chat, y'all the same. Y'all watching this, y'all here live with us for these 90 minutes. Y'all sickos too. You might as well like this stream. You might as well hit the like button on both, subscribe to both because y'all sickos just like we are. Y'all know what it is, man. Only us right now. It's just middle of the August night. People got ready for school. We got school starting tomorrow. TaNeisha, you supposed to be going back to school shopping for people, all right? You supposed to be out here in the kid. Yeah, get some backpacks, all right? No, we want to talk ball.
That's noon where I'm at, and I'm like, so tell me about that one time when you did the one thing, like. How does that work for you? Yeah, even those of you that are on playback that will have missed this live, that you now are at this point in the live, and you're like, oh my God, I missed this entire
you're sick too. All right, I hope you are the one that just tapped in on the. I don't even want you to be on the live right now. Hopefully, you're watching this pre-recorded right now. All right, and when you watching and you get to this part, just drop it in the comment section. Like, you know what, Moats, you was right, bro. You was right. I'm a junkie. Yeah, bro. Because that's who you are right now.
Okay, so if you drop a video after this and you're in the comment section, I will see it. Okay, and I will comment back to you. So I get it.
We see you, Jamal McCullum, A. Mario Wade, Rod Dollar, Pittsburgh Tiny, Chris Hobson, Cohesive, Sean Monster Major. We see all of y'all some junkies just like us. Y'all sick.
We love it. We love it. We love it. Never change, by the way. Never change. No matter what anybody tells you. No matter how much of your family is like, can we stop talking about this? I don't care. I don't want to hear it. No, you keep talking about it. Okay. If it brings you joy, you talk about it. Man. So I love this. And I'm fired up. I also obviously on my channel, I'm doing my college football series. And as it started to count down, because now I'm in the top 10. And so I'm at the Alabama, LSU's and Miami. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's gearing. So I love it. I love it. And I love that I get to have therapy on Tuesday. That might be my new favorite thing. Okay. So I'm going to need the space during the season. So I just really appreciate that. So thank you for allowing that space. But also, shout out to you for your membership video.
Like I said, man, I'm learning.
I'm so excited.
I'm growing. Weekly drops. All right. I'm learning. I've learned from you weekly. I am dropping. All right. I'm getting drops.
You are
getting drops.
It.
Early drops. You're getting drops too. You're getting drops. All right. We got content for it.
Yeah. And shout out to GG if he ever sees this. Every time he pops up on the screen, I'm like, we're in there. We're doing things.
Shout out to TaNeisha. Everybody, in fact, y'all like seeing TG. We were talking about this polo, how he be smiling all of a sudden, all cheesy because he got FaceTime now, right? Y'all thank TaNeisha for this. All right. TaNeisha pushed me technology-wise, made me get uncomfortable. All right.
So happy.
Created anxiety in my life.
I love it. And he does. He always shows up in his little outfit. Look, I'm like, that's it.
My dog's sharp, man. My dog be cooking, man. So shout out to him, man.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love all of it. So anyways, like I just needed to I don't think people realize that all the things that happen behind the scenes and all the things we're trying to do. So to see it work, it's like, yes. That looks great. We did it. and so it's awesome. Like, shout out to us. We're making it work. Absolutely. I think we've gotten better at the chat. That doesn't mean that we're always going to be great at the chat. So I'm just saying. And so I appreciate being here, and I appreciate your group welcoming me because they didn't want to.
Yeah, likewise though.
And so I appreciate them, and I appreciate the comments. Yes, I read the comment sections, and yes, I reply. I do. I can't help it. I think it's fun.
See, you know what? This is what's going on. This has been our preseason as well. See, we were both we both joined teams together. And it was like, you know what? I never been on your team, I've been on my team. All right, but you know what? We good teammates. I kind of like this right here, man.
And we're enjoying the process.
Each week we getting better. Each week we get. It's not a finished process yet. We ain't January cooking just yet. But you see, we growing. We getting what we need to be. Yeah.
I love it. I just love it. I love it. And I can't wait for the season. Like, I can't wait for the preseason to be over. And then I kind of feel like it goes a little dark because then obviously guys are getting released. Things are moving and shaking.
It's the sad time, man.
You don't have your roster and then you do. Like, it's like a lot of kind of things are happening back and forth. But at the end of the day, as a Steelers fan, I am so proud to be elite average. I take pride in that. And that brings me comfort because no matter what happens, who gets let go, who gets brought back, who's this, who's that, I get to trust my franchise. And a lot of people cannot say that they trust their franchises.
A lot of people don't trust. You think Cincinnati fans trust their franchise? Oh, I trust what? No. Y'all were the favorite to win the Super Bowl that never was in the playoffs last year, but y'all were the favorite though. Hey man, nobody wanted to see them Bengals team. Yeah, all right, keep trusting that team over there. Yep.
I mean, do we need to go through the list of franchises? I mean, the Giant fans right now are just kind of like, even I'm catching Arizona Cardinal fans that are kind of like,
look. Are the Jets Super Bowl favorites again? Are the Jets Super Bowl favorites? Because remember, they were Super Bowl favorites, undefeated. They're not going to lose a game. They got the toughest team out, best offense, best defense for 2 years. All right, I'm just asking, just trying to figure that out.
The Bears, right? Preseason champs are always the Bears. And shout out to them. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, but it's like and that's what I do because I am psychotic and I love football. That's what I do. I go to other teams because I always say the only way you know who your team is if you understand who other teams are. Because then you can kind of say, I don't have that. Okay, we don't have that problem. No, can't. Don't know what that feels like. Don't know. And so when I'm on these different pages, I'm listening and I'm like, oh, you guys are like panicked organizationally. I'm just panicked of can we fix the snap situation?
Way different. Our complaints are we don't want to be one and done in the postseason. We're trying to expand and make a serious run to a confetti game. It's teams that are like, yo, what are we even trying? What's our philosophy?
Yeah. Why did we draft him?
Hey, do we trust this GM? Why is this GM saying one thing, but the owner says something different? But then we're supposed to believe that they're here to get.
Oh gosh. Free him. Please free him so I can cheer for him like I want to. Please free him. Please free him. Free him. I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not even going to say the team. I just want him to be freed.
You proud of me? But like, not really though. I mean, like, but
I played well. Everyone likes it. Even the veterans are telling me how great I was. But free him. Free him, please. Like PSA. And if you know who we're talking about, that lets you know everything you need to know.
So there you have it.
Free him, please, and thank you. Free him. And when he is free, I will gladly, I'm all about it. But right now, no, got to free him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unacceptable. So anyways.
I like it then. I like it. Well, shoot, man. What you got left, man? Anything left, man? I'm looking up. I'm like, we are all hour 40 in this thing, man.
Yeah, I don't have anything left. I think we're good to go. I think that as we move forward, I think we'll be off a week or two. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But everything we do will be scheduled.
We're doing the same thing that the Steelers are doing. They sit in their starters this week. We're gonna sit our starters next. We're gonna sit our starters, and then you see us week 1. Yeah. All right, y'all guys, week 1. We back.
We'll be back week 1, and
we gave you preseason.
We got week 1 so much so that we have something cool potentially coming the Thursday before week 1. Like, that's how much we got week 1. Okay. We are. Not only do we got week 1, we got week 1. Okay.
We done our preseason. Yeah, fast pass. So hey, you know what it's time for. Next time you see Rogers ready. All right, we talking them boys. All right, yeah.
I'm fired up. But anyways, no, seriously, I appreciate you, your audience. Thank you for everybody who's here on both of our channels. Hit like. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more content. If you want exclusive content, we both have memberships. You can join the membership. Arthur Moats is now dropping videos on his membership. So if you want more from him, you will get that. And yeah, like, I just appreciate this, and I'll be around. Who knows? Maybe I'll pop up somewhere that you won't even expect it. Maybe there'll be a show where I'm like, hey, you want to just run one? We want to just throw me in there for the last 30?
Pull up. Look, you got the link. Drop the pin. You know what it said.
Drop the link for me.
Drop the link. Come on, man.
Email me the link. I have something to say about this.
Come on, man. I know you got something. Get here.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. I'm glad that we do this. I'll let you take us out, but I just want to say thanks and make sure everybody hits the like button and does all the YouTube things, because we'll be back sooner than you know it.
You already know. And like I said, the feelings are definitely mutual. So I appreciate you in your channel for the welcoming arms. All right. And just these fun combos that we get to have on Tuesdays. Because like I said, it's rare that I get to have these type of questions, and these type of conversations. So for me, I truly enjoy that. So shout out to you. But with that being the case, that will conclude today's show. But you heard what TaNeisha said. Do all the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, and stay safe out there. And until next time, baby. Peace.
Bye.